Yoma Daf Nun Aleph. Today's first email comes from Boruch Chaim Cassel. He says he really enjoys all the after effects that Yosef Bilyak puts into the regular shir. I want you to know that when Yosef does things like this to the video of the shir, really helps me enjoy watching the shir with a geschmack. May you and Yosef be able to continue to do all the great things that you do for many more years to come. Your Talmud, Boruch Chaim Cassel. Then I received a very lengthy email, which I'm not going to read, but I just want to say that I really appreciate all the Divrei Torah from David Abrams from Elad. So Yoma Daf Nun Aleph, we're continuing with yesterday's sugya, and Be'ezer Hashem today we're going to start a Mishnah, and from there it's going to be smooth sailing for a while. But to finish off the sugya from yesterday, there are only two karbanos that have the three chumras that we don't find by Tmura. Tmura is that a person has a carbon and he says, I would like to make this second animal instead of the first one, and that's Issa Deraisa. What are the three chumras? That the original carbon is noig biyachru betzibur, it pushes off Shabbos and Tumah, the original carbon, and you can make a Tmura, but you cannot make the Tmura into a Tmura. What are the two carbonas? The ayil, the ram of Aaron, which is a carbon yachid, and it has a very specific time only in Kippur, and therefore it pushes off Shabbos and Tumah. Or the second one, the second option is the par of the Kohain Gadol, which again, Kvol Azman, pushes off Shabbos and Tumah. And if it's considered a carbon yachid, so you can make it a Tmura. But the rest of the Tmuras of the world, which are not a carbon chatas, you could be makir them on a weekday, but not on Shabbos. But the karbanos don't have this chumrah that we have by Tmura, that by Tmura it's chal on a bal mum. If you say this is a Tmura, even if the animal has a mum kavua, it's chal. And when you redeem this animal, it's still also begiz v'avodah because it has gedushas haguf, so it doesn't help to redeem it completely. But a b'charim meiser, which are not Tmura, their gedushas chal, the b'char is chal when it's born, and the meiser is chal tachashifto as it comes out of the pen. So then it will be chal on a mum kavua. So you have a situation where a regular carbon also has that chumrah. Rav Sheishes decided to put the chumrah on Eloi shel Aaron, the ram of Aaron, and not on a carbon pesach, which also l'chara has these three chumras. Why? Because he holds that a carbon pesach requires at least two people to be part of it. So that's a partnership, that's a shutfas, and a shutfas cannot make tmura, and therefore it's missing that one chumrah. A carbon pesach sheni that you could bring as an individual, according to Chachamim, does not push off tumah. We learned the other day that a carbon chagiga is considered a carbon tzibur. Why? Because Klal Yisrael as a rabbin brings many of these karbanos. So why isn't the carbon pesach considered a carbon tzibur? Because we're referring to the carbon pesach sheni, which also comes with only one individual. And like Amanda says that Pesach Sheni pushes off Shabbos and Tumah because the Torah gave you an opportunity to do the carbon Pesach when you tar in the first Pesach, and you tummy then, so it gave you another opportunity. But if you're still tummy, you should do it b'tumah. But the Tanakhama says no. The Torah, you see from the Torah doesn't want you to do it when you're tummy. That's why I gave you Pesach Sheni. If you're tummy the Pesach Sheni, you can't do it b'tumah. The Torah says asher loy 3 times. One time is to say that the Kohen Gadol has to buy his par with his own money and not from the communal money. And then another 2 times, because the Torah says things twice when it comes to kachim, to say that it's ma'akiv, that a Kohen Gadol has to buy his own par and not from the Kohanim. The Kohanim cannot buy for him. Nevertheless, you can't prove from here that this par of the Kohen Gadol is considered a carbon yachid, and therefore you can make it into a tmura, because the Torah took his par and was mafkir to the other Kohanim that they should be partners in that carbon, so they could achieve a kapara, and therefore it cannot become tmura. Says the brand new Mishnah, and from here on it's going to be smooth sailing for a while. According to the Tanakhama, there were 2 paroichesim that separated between the Heichal and the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and there was a full amo between the 2 paroichesim. The Kohen Gadol went into the Kodesh HaKadoshim by going between the 2 paroichesim. In the Mishkan, there's only one paroiches. As it seems from the pasuk, it says V'hivdila haparoiches. There was one paroiches. In the Bayis Rishon, in the first Beis Hamikdash, there was a wall that was an amma thick. However, in the Bayis Sheni, where they made a paroiches, it was made out of fabric, they had a suffix. Do they put the paroiches, which is a lot thinner, closer to the Kodesh HaKodashim or closer to the Heichal? So therefore, since they didn't know what to do, they made two. Rabbi Yossi says no, there's only one. And now the Mishnah tells us there are three shitas, the Gemara that is, how did the Kohen Gadol get from the Heichal into the Kodesh HaKodashim? What was his path? According to everybody, the opening to the Kodesh HaKodashim was on the northern side of the paroiches. According to Rabbi Yehuda, the Kohen Gadol went between the Mizbeach HaKtoros and the Menorah, which is on the southern side of the Heichal, because he holds there were two paroiches, and the first one was open on the southern side. Then he walked between the two until he got to the northern side. Rameir says no, he walked between the Mizbeach and the Shulchan, because he holds there's only one paroiches. However, there were 10 additional shulchanos that Shlomo HaMelech made, and they were positioned between north and south, and therefore you could not walk from east to west. You couldn't get by because of these tables. Or even if they were positioned between Mizrach and Ma'arav, it's not the proper way to go straight into the Kodesh HaKodashim, as you could see the Kodesh HaKodashim in front of you. But according to Rabbi Yossi, he did go straight into the northern side of the paroiches, and he walked straight into the Kodesh HaKodashim, because Chavivin Yisrael, as we're going to see a little bit more tomorrow, Klal Yisrael is beloved HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they just walk right in. Have a wonderful day.